Hello, coming at you live from Studio 5. This is Archive Attack, a very first on the Swell Time G-Pool channel, a game show featuring three incredible, super smart VTuber masterminds who are not plotting anything nefarious against all of us. Hello, welcome in. Hi, I'm your host, Swell Time G-Pool. You can call me G-Pool. It's weird when people call me Swell, but don't worry about it. Yeah, I'm here today with three super smart, super crafty VTubers. I'll go ahead and let them introduce themselves from left to right. Over there, one of two retro pals, super prominent VTuber smarty pants, Danny Sarduce. Hello, Danny.
Super prominent VTuber smarty pants. I don't know about any of these words, but hey, I'm Danny. I run a show on Twitch called Retro Pals, and I like arcade games, and I like old magazines, and I'm here to have fun. Does that about cover it?
That about covers it.
Okay, cool.
That about covers it. And next up, a level 3 demon from Western Style Live. We've got Amos, Western Style Guy.
That's me. I really feel like I am kind of sticking out like a sore thumb by being the only person here with a non-S name. You can refer me to the Style Guy today, just so I can fit in a little bit better.
Oh, we should have got Southern Style Guy, you're right.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. But yeah, Amos, do you want to talk about your streams at all? Anything you want to tell anybody? Everybody knows Amos, but you know you've got a very cool style, a very unique sort of stream going on over there.
I would hate to talk about my stream, but let's say about my stream the better. No, just kidding. I'm kind of in like a sort of identity rut where I can't really say I'm like a retro VTuber because the last game I streamed was like from last year.
Oh, retro games are games that came out before the latest Madden, so...
That's not true, but I don't want to get into the whole what is retro, what isn't retro thing, because we might as well be talking about whether hamburgers or hot dogs or whatever, you know?
Nah, I'm right there with you. I'm just poking fun. It's absurd how big of a conflict that's been around lately. People have just been really up in arms about what is retro, and it doesn't matter. The thing is, it doesn't matter.
It's all made up.
It's all made up. It's not real. Retro is only real to you and nobody else, okay? And lastly, one of the biggest Sonic the Hedgehog fanatics I've ever met in my life, who's also very smart and very knowledgeable and in the video game field, Sarah Lenny. Hello, Sarah.
Hello. First of all, there's only one game that's retro, and it's Great Gianna Sisters. Second of all, yeah, I'm Sarah Lenny. I'm a magical cat girl. I'm a retro streamer, so I would know all about what's retro and what's not, clearly.
Oh. Watch out, guys. She
love
knows.
Sonic, and I do a Sonic marathon every month.
It's so cool. Sonic's so cool.
Sonic is so cool.
I'm very impressed that you're able to just play those games like non-stop. It's so exciting. They're hard. They're hard games.
Sonic is fast, he is real, and he is my friend.
And friendship is the strongest sort of magic out there.
I hear your friends are your power. Is that true?
Yes.
Occasionally I throw them at someone, so...
Hey, power's power.
Means, yeah.
Something, Eye of the Beholder, something. Do you guys ever play that game on Super Nintendo? It's kind of insane they put a game like that on console, right?
I played it for like a few minutes once.
Right?
It's cool, like it works functionally enough. It's just fascinating. I can't really think of any other like dungeon crawlers like that to make it to a console, especially on Super Nintendo, right?
Yeah, you've also got like Arcana.
That's true. There's Arcana.
My magic tree.
Jurassic
Couple
Park
wizard
on
trees on
Super
there.
Nintendo has
Yeah,
first
Jurassic
person, has like dungeon crawler mechanics to it for some reason.
Oh yes, my favorite dungeon crawler, Jurassic Park.
But only sometimes. Not all the time, but only sometimes. That game's so funny. It's so brutal, but you can just go into these buildings and then all of a sudden it becomes like a weird first person dungeon crawler experience. Jurassic Park Mystery Dungeon. Now we're talking.
I would play that. That sounds like it would roll, actually.
Grant the
gotta make
Wanderer. Awesome guy. Okay. I guess introductions out of the way, we can get started. This show, I've got 3 exciting, titillating rounds for our favorite Smarties here to figure out. So I guess we can just go ahead and get on with the show. This is all very much just up in the air. I have not really gauged how long things are going to take. This could be a very short stream, honestly. It depends on how often we get sidetracked, I guess. But I don't know. We're figuring it out. We're play testing, and we're going to do our best to have fun, to smile, to support each other in all these harsh times, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you all again for joining me here for this cool and awesome stream experiment. I'm excited to try to piece things together and put on one hell of a show for everybody.
Oh, hell of a show. 'Cause I'm here.
Heck.
No, you can say hell. You're
Okay,
allowed
good.
to swear on your own
Good.
stream.
Thank you. I'm so happy. I'm so glad.
It's okay. Amos may have a home court advantage, but actually I'm a level 5 demon, you see, so.
Whoa.
Whoa, hold on.
And Danny's a devil dumper, so
Yeah.
we're all going to hell.
I guess so.
All
I feel
right.
like my charm point is getting taken away from me.
Yeah, you didn't realize what sort of stage you were stepping onto today, did you?
I guess I did not. I'm flying high off of my previous achievements today, and they have bitten off more than I can chew.
It's a humbling experience being here on Swell Time G-Pool.
That's what I hear. every time someone comes off of like one of the tournaments, you're like, I felt humbled.
That's
I felt
true.
humbled and humiliated. Is what mostly everyone says about the streams.
Absolutely. Regardless if it's like a tournament stream or if they're just here like playing a game with me, they get
Yeah.
humbled, they get humiliated.
Collab.
That's awesome. There's nothing more humiliating than being on stream, you know? True. That's why we wear these cartoon masks. That's why we're dressed up as funny little characters, so we can shield ourselves from the real pain and misery.
You guys are wearing cartoon masks?
No.
Wait, there's disguises involved?
No.
I don't know. Yeah, I didn't know I needed to bring a cartoon mask. Hold on, wait.
Alright. So yeah, I guess we can just
Okay,
get...
this should be more like it.
Perfect.
Why is it bugging out?
it was only happening when you were talking for a second. That was awesome.
Okay, there we go.
Just snapping to and fro. Those ears are going wild and wacky.
You know, I don't have the full transparency for it. It was doing the like alternating frame thing.
Awesome. Fantastic. Alright, so we can get round 1 underway here. So the first round, how it's gonna work, I have pulled many a video game review from many a video game magazine, and I will be redacting certain information such as, you know, obviously title of the video game, as well as stuff like titular characters or whatever, things that will immediately give it away. So it's up to you guys to, as soon as you think you know it based on the description, just buzz in. Yeah, hit us all with your buzzers so everybody knows what you're rocking with. Danny? Thank you. Amos? Thank you. And Sarah? Fantastic. Can they see the chat? I guess that's up to them, but I'll assume that... I assume that would be...
Even if I wasn't looking at the Twitch chat, we do have the OBS thing going.
Yeah.
That's gonna be hard.
Yeah, you know, I didn't think of that in hindsight. You know, actually, that's probably... I should probably take chat off at least one screen here. Don't look at that, don't look at that, don't look at that, don't look at that, don't look at that.
No, my duck is quiet. I don't know if we can fix that.
You can, I think you can
Okay, there we
raise
go.
your duck's volume, maybe? I don't know.
I don't see that option. It just lets me preview it.
If
All right,
you
keep your ears open for a very quiet quack.
if you hover over the sound icon and it says search for sounds in the top right, there's a little volume bar that might.
Yeah,
do
but that's, I
something.
think you're only low.
Oh.
That's the volume that you're
Here.
hearing rather than.
Well, I'll turn it up on mine then. Is that better?
The duck's
Duck check.
better, but then. Is that not too loud?
It seems fine to me, but it's hard to tell with what Twitch chat's hearing.
Okay, I put mine at 100.
Okay, duck, awesome. The honk seems still tolerable. Okay, good.
Yeah, that's good.
Sorry, can we hear your ring one more time? Thank you. I think we should be good there then. So yeah, I'll be reading out some video game reviews. Some of these are quite awesome and cool and funny, which is the most exciting thing for me. I love
things that are
laughing.
cool and awesome and funny.
I love having a laugh. You guys don't know how much I enjoy digging through like old magazines and reviews and all that stuff. Because it's not just like the crazy insane shit that people will write up on a video game, but there's so much artistry to page layouts and all that stuff that when we hit the online era and people were doing online reviews, that stuff just gets lost because nobody's like making their own special layouts and throwing random images all over the screen, which is a bit of a bummer. So I really get invested whenever I get to rifle through all these old video game magazines. It's awesome. It's epic. But yeah, with that out of the way, we can get started. So I will start reading through my list of reviews. Once you guys feel you know it, feel free to buzz in. You only get one shot per review here, so make sure you're confident when you ring in, okay? And I will just
I'm
go
always
ahead.
confident.
I know you are, Amos. The most confident streamer, voted
I
most
just wanted to put that on the table so everyone knows I'm really confident.
voted most confident streamer in the streamies. Western style guy. All right. So, let's begin. This one comes from an issue of Super Play, which is a British Super Nintendo based magazine, so keep that in mind. You can't go far wrong with a game endorsed by Shigs himself. It seems it's certainly true for blank. This is the best Game Boy platformer since Wario Land. At first, you'd be forgiving for feeling disappointed though. The first 4 levels are straight reproductions of the original arcade game. However, it soon becomes clear that their inclusion was born out of a tributary gesture, as the levels... Danny?
Donkey Kong?
You nailed it, Danny. You got
Yeah,
there.
let's go.
Whoop. I forgot. I gotta turn that off. That'll happen every single time I go back. Fantastic. 2 points for Danny. I also should have said that each question is worth 2 points in this round, by the way. So keep that in mind, everybody. All right. Next one. This is from a magazine called Game Fan, which was pretty prominent in the mid to late 90s. Sheesh. Where are the brakes on this thing? I have never seen a racing game on the N64 move so freaking fast. Blank has great graphics if you have the RAM pack, and blazing speed once you get the control down. Only having a 2-player option is a bit of a letdown, and some of the tracks can be difficult to see in the dark while traveling at near light speeds. F-Zero and Star Wars fans may be interested, but it's definitely not an easy game. Unusually strong in the Force. Amos.
Star Wars pod racing?
It's Star Wars pod racing. You got it. I really like. Go ahead. You're cutting out a little bit, Amos. What was that?
Sorry, I had absolutely no idea until the very last line.
Unusually strong in the Force. God, that game's crazy. Just like he said, it is really fast. I remember I had that game as a kid, and all I ever did was crash into walls. I never got good at it. All right. Next one here from Electronic Gaming Monthly, a fan favorite. Everybody loves those guys. I was really surprised at how much I liked this game. Not only does it sport some above-average graphics, it plays really well too. The sounds, especially of the cavemen talking, add to the humorous aspects of Blank. The story is cool, and this one is easy to pick up. I like the hang gliding sequence, and the sheer number of secrets kept me going back to the earlier levels. Not... Danny?
Prehistoric Man?
You got it, Slugger. A Titus
Hell yeah.
classic.
I played that for 5 minutes.
It's awesome. You should play it for more. It's got a button where your guy can do a Tom and Jerry scream, and it's like a screen clear. It's so sick. And
That's
it plays
a bomb.
pretty good. It plays pretty good. Yeah, it's a bomb. It adds up over time, and once it's full, you can just scream, and it's the actual like big ass Tom scream, and it just wipes off everything on the screen. It's so funny. All right. This next one, also from Electronic Gaming Monthly. Phantasy Star was undoubtedly the best-selling Sega Master System card of all time. While Phantasy Star 2 is set to debut for the Genesis sometime next year, Sega is determined to make sure RPG fans don't despair with Blank, a fantasy action-adventure that couples a grand storyline with some spectacular 16-bit graphics. To complete your quest, you must roam through the land, exploring castle mazes, speaking with locals, and fighting large boss creatures. The Genesis takes this involving adventure and throws in colorful landscapes, castles filled with hideous monsters, and loads to discover, uncover, and experience. Danny?
Light Crusader?
No, that is incorrect.
Damn.
Anybody else? You don't lose points, by the way, if you guess. Just throwing that out there.
You know,
Oh.
hey, I don't lose points. Secret of Mana?
No, I'm sorry. That was a Super Nintendo RPG.
Okay.
Reset
I was
all
hey,
points.
maybe it's multi-platform.
Sarah? Any ideas?
Man, this is a really tough one. The description is so vague that it's really could be about anything. How about I can only think of Shining in the Darkness since it said it was from Sega.
That is incorrect, unfortunately.
That's what I figured.
We were looking for Super Hydlide.
Oh no!
Wow. We're nice, Lang.
That's all they gotta sell you on it. It'll keep you busy until Phantasy Star 2 comes out. Alright. Next one. This one is from Hyper, Australia's #1 gaming magazine. One of my personal favorites. Aliens invading the Earth, not an entirely original concept, but sometimes it can be done so well that you truly get absorbed. Blank was one of the first games announced for the Nintendo 64, and now it's finally almost ready for release. Why the long development period? Well, possibly because Blank is such a fantastic mixture of genres. Action, adventure, puzzler, shoot 'em up, it's all here. Your character is a futuristic time traveler and one of the last remaining humans thanks to an alien race eating most of the human race. He travels back in time and prevent the aliens from achieving... Amos?
Rock!
No, I'm afraid that is incorrect.
Dang.
That game is full of time travel shenanigans and chicanery. Danny?
Hybrid Heaven?
That is incorrect. There's a little bit left I can read here. Let's see. When adventuring on foot, your character can examine every object in the environment and interact with it. He can also hop into any vehicle he sees and take it for a spin. With big arachnoid... Sarah?
Is this Body Harvest?
Correct! Body Harvest. I figured once we got to the part about the vehicles that might give it away, because that seemed to be one of the biggest aspects of that game. But it's an interesting one. I've only played it a little bit myself, but I was kind of surprised at how much they were doing on the 64.
Yeah, I rented it once, and it is a really busy game. There's so much to it.
Busy is a great word for it. Amos, I think you'd like Body Harvest.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I think I've seen like a B-roll footage of this. This does look very dense.
Yeah, it's
Sort of like a
lot.
proto GTA, yeah.
A little
Yeah,
bit.
I think that's the context in which I saw it. People were like, "Well, here's like the varied
Yeah.
context of GTA."
Like if the GTA team or if Rockstar made EDF or something. Alright. We're going back to EGM for this one. Protagonist is back, and this time he's traveling the world. Protagonist has won the Springfield Art Contest and now gets to go on a Krusty the Clown treasure hunt. The contest was judged by Danny?
Art versus the world.
Correct. Thought I might throw you a curveball there because there are so many Simpsons games out there.
Game sucks.
It sure does. Alright. They gave that game a difficulty hard, by the way, which is accurate. Usually, the EGM, their rankings are all over the place, but I feel like they nailed it because that game blows.
The sliding puzzles, man. The sliding puzzles.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, this one comes from DC UK, a Dreamcast-oriented, United Kingdom-based magazine. Who'd have thought a simple turn-based strategy game based around homicidal invertebrates would become a smash hit, appearing on just about every video game machine since 1995 and, along with its sequels, selling upwards of 3 million copies. But that's exactly what Blank has done, so it's no surprise to find Team 17's award-winning game appearing on Dreamcast. Amos?
I accidentally muted myself. Is this Worms Armageddon?
Correct. You got the specific brand too. I would have just accepted Worms, honestly, but you nailed it.
I was dragging it because I was like, "This is gonna be World Party Armageddon."
There are many Worms games out there. They peaked with Armageddon though. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I really like about Armageddon in particular is that you can make your own maps quite literally with like Photoshop and just import them into the game. It's insane.
I used to make maps for my friends that are all like in jokes and stuff, and we would just like, hang out and play Worms. And be like, oh yeah, that's that picture from the like thing that we said.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. It's so fun. All right, number 8 here. We're going back to Game Fan. Everyone was questioning the 2D abilities of the Dreamcast. Even this dongo had his doubts if the DC could handle the 2D madness of Blank. Well, the 2D prowess cannot be denied as Blank is an arcade perfect. Period. No slowdown, no loss of animation, and no doubt that this is 2D heaven. With the added bonus Cross Fever mode, allowing 4-player... Sarah?
It's Marvel vs. Capcom.
Correct. A fantastic game. And it's crazy to me that the Dreamcast version exclusively has that Cross Fever mode where it's like a 4-player game, and you know, so it's 2v2 and one player controls each of the characters. I think that's really cool, having like a true tag battle like that. Very fun, very cool. Next up, we've got a short one here. This was from also EGM. Blank is a cool Mario-type adventure loaded with eye-popping visuals and secrets for the adventurous player. The game will take a 3D view in certain areas. Blank looks like fun. Since that is a little lacking, I will also let you know that this was specifically from a page all about Sega Saturn games.
Blank looks like fun.
Oh, Sarah?
I'm just gonna take a guess here. Bug?
Bug! That is correct. Big Bugheads in chat. Everybody's favorite.
Haven't thought about Bug in a while.
He's kind of like I feel like there's something there with his game, but also it gets really monotonous really quick. I don't know why, but something about it just sort of like sucks the enthusiasm out of you when you play it. I don't know why. It's a strange game. Okay, next up. This is from Superplay again. Euro-based Super Nintendo themed magazine. Blank is an open-ended game of discovery. The atmosphere and plot are like a cinematic sci-fi of Blade Runner and the oppressive future vision of 1984. It's inspiring, full of moody visuals and imaginative puzzles. The programmers have seen the need to strike a balance between reflex-dependent arcade action and adventure game logic. Oh, Danny got there first.
Flashback?
No, that is incorrect. Amos?
Shadowrun?
Shadowrun.
Yes. I was like, I could probably guess it at the Blade Runner bit.
Yeah, it's a very cool game. It's another like surprisingly dense game, especially for the Super Nintendo, but it's really fun. I like it a lot.
It feels like a PC game.
Yeah, like I know everybody's favorite Cal Bunwasha has been playing that with the PC mod where you can play with a mouse, and it's just such a cool game. It's very
not even necessarily like the things that like in how it should control, but just like in design ethos, it feels like it should be like a PC or an Amiga joint.
With how many menus it has, how much text you have to scroll through.
Like it's a CRPG basically.
Basically. Alright, so this next one, coming back to Game Fan here. Hey, it's Blank. I'll take it any way I can get it. With this version, however, I'm just a little disappointed. Really, just a little. I'm happy it's hand-drawn 2D, but I was hoping for more effects and a lot more parallax. Hermie Hopperhead had 6 layers, where Blank has 2 in most places. The animation, music, gameplay, and difficulty, however, are all Capcom quality, and anyone who loves Blank will surely enjoy this game to no end. The animation sequences are amazingly done, by the way. The PlayStation needs this game badly. It fills a void that needs filling. 2D must never die.
What are you talking about?
They gave it an 85 out of 100, by the way.
Hermie Hopperhead.
Comparing it to Hermie Hopperhead of all things made me go crazy. Danny?
A stall?
Incorrect. Was a stall on PlayStation?
Oh, I misheard.
That's okay. Anybody else?
I'll take a shot. Rakuga Kids.
Incorrect.
No, shout out to Rakuga Kids.
No, this was a Capcom joint. Sarah?
I'm really only guessing. Is it a Mega Man game?
Which Mega Man game?
X4?
Incorrect.
Oh
We
my
were
God,
looking
it's
for
probably
Mega Man 8.
I was racking my because you said hand drawn. I was thinking like fucking like Yoshi's Island or something, you know? Like I
Yeah,
was,
Yeah, I think
Their
that was a
application is way wrong.
this was a bizarre one, but I guess just in the midst of 3D gaming, anything that's like pixels is considered hand drawn, I guess, to these
Why
guys.
you bring up Hermie Hopperhead though? that threw me for a loop.
that's probably one of my favorite things of looking up old reviews or whatever is that people like this does not hold Mega Man 4 does not hold a candle to Hermie Hopperhead. There's way fewer animation layers, and you're reading it in 2024. Like, who the hell is Hermie Hopperhead?
That's exactly why I picked that one, because of all the things to compare a Mega Man game to, they went with Hermie Hopperhead. What a guy. Yeah, it didn't even come out in the States. But whatever. Game Fan, you guys are kooky. Game Fan, I do believe, is an American-based magazine, so I don't know what they were on. Alright. Next question. This one comes from Hyper again. The bosses in Blank are suitably cool and tastefully original. In the Mausoleum, you get to fight a demon which has been trapped in a stained glass window, whilst in the Scarecrow Fields, you have to fight huge Wizard of Oz-inspired Tin Men. The gameplay swings between... Sarah?
Is this medieval?
Correct! And Sarah pulls forward from the crowd, taking us off of that wicked cursed number we were on there for a moment.
Good number. I like that number.
It's a good number. It's awesome. I don't know how I feel about medieval. Parts of it feel really good, but parts of it feel like really strange to me. Like enemies feel like they rarely have like hit detection on them, but the actual platforming is pretty fun and stuff. And the art's really cool. It's a baffling video game. Alright. This next one, this is an old one from EGM. The eagerly awaited sequel to the original Blank game has finally arrived. Blank continues the adventure of the dynamic duo that removed the enemy terrorists in the first game. This time out, our heroes must contend with much more than a fanatical terrorist organization. Now, alien forces have joined in and you must contend with mechanized spiders and other organisms, as well as tanks and helicopters. Power-ups can also be collected once again to help battle the forces of evil. Danny?
Metal Slug 2.
Incorrect. Anybody else?
I'm drawing a total blank on this one.
It's okay, it's okay. Sarah?
I don't know, Metal Slug X?
No, I'm afraid not. We were looking for Super C, the sequel to Contra.
Oh.
Oh, You know
Which-
what? Calling the enemies
kind of
the
misleading.
contract terrorists is
There were
Uh-huh.
aliens in the
Yeah.
first
Yeah,
one. Come on.
yeah, right.
It's one of those misleading ones, just like the RPG one on Genesis earlier.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right.
very good.
Next up, back to Game Fan here. We've been waiting for an N64 version of Blank since the arcade original was first released, but no one really quite knew what to expect. Would it be worse? Would it be exact? Well, no, actually, it would be better. In their first stab at N64 development, Rare has once again achieved the impossible. Danny?
Killer Instinct Gold.
Correct.
Man, I was just a little slow.
Just too slow there. But I figured as soon as Rare came out, then the buzzers would be
Yeah.
going off.
That's what I was waiting on.
Arcade, Rare, N64. They converted a $2,000 arcade game to a $70 N64 cartridge and improved it. Yay, yippee!
Wow, wow, wow.
Alright, next up, back to EGM. The Heroes in a Half Shell make their video game appearance courtesy of Ultra in this adaptation of the comic book. Oh, Sarah?
Is it the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game on NES?
Correct. The first Ninja Turtles game. Important to note that it's by Ultra of all guys. You know, not Konami. I
Yeah.
also want to point out with this review in particular, they said TMNT was easy on the difficulty spike,
No?
but they also didn't include how many levels of play they are. They just left that blank. So, I'm not
Maybe they were
sure.
playing the PAL version.
Maybe. I'm not sure if they got very far when they reviewed this one. But I think that's fascinating. Alright, next up from Superplay here. Uniquely among game characters, Blank uses different hairsprays as deadly assault weapons. Danny?
Rocky Rodent.
Correct. Immediately, if you know
World's
that guy,
number one Rocky Rodent fan.
if you know that guy, then you know what he's all about. His hairspray, his funny jokes, his goofs, his gaffes. Armadillos bearing gold, frankincense, and that's it. That's one of the jokes they wrote in here for this review. Alright. From Dreamcast United Kingdom Magazine, or DC UK for short. Here at DC UK Towers, we're becoming ever more moist with excitement. It's rather embarrassing. As you were no doubt aware, Blank is one of the most eagerly awaited role-playing games for Dreamcast, its gorgeous visuals and compelling storyline laying the bait for a truly epic adventure. We brought the first in-depth look at the game back in issue 18, and now we're finally clambered up the crow's nest for a peek at the PAL version. Having cut our way through the first 12 or so hours of the game, Sarah?
Is it Skies of Arcadia?
Correct. Skies of Arcadia.
Because of the Crow's Nest.
Yeah, there you go. They're air pirates. They're moist with excitement.
Everyone was always moist back then. It was disgusting.
It was a disgusting time. I don't know why we lived like that. Alright. Once again, back to EGM here. This is a shorter one. Following hot on the heels of the Nintendo release, Sunsoft will release this magnificent game later in the year. The play mechanics are similar to Revenge of Shinobi, with all new power-ups and stunning backgrounds. Danny?
Batman Return of the Joker.
Correct. Oop.
Oh, let's go. Wild guess.
Wildly precise, also.
Sunsoft, Revenge of Shinobi. Everybody could have guessed that, right?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Super Play coming at us with this one here. It's hard to believe that Seta's new 16-bit meg game has taken over 2 years to reach completion, but it may have been worth the wait. The name echoes the 1921 German silent movie in which Count Dracula was depicted as a bald, wild-eyed hobgoblin with unfeasibly large front teeth, much like the vampires here. Danny?
Nosferatu.
Correct.
I was like, no way the game is just called Nosferatu.
It's called Nosferatu.
It's gonna be like fucking Nosferatu Adventures or something. And I'm going to look like a fool for just guessing Nosferatu straight.
Nope, it's just Nosferatu. You run around, it's sort of like Prince of Persia, but it has an insane combat system to it. It's nuts. Nosferatu babies. Now we're talking. Oh, an ad is showing? Oh, really? I thought I had those turned off. Oh well. That's tragic.
An ad for Nosferatu.
Oh, yeah, that's it. That was it. The banner ads make the stream smaller still sometimes? Huh. Weird. Anyway, next up, this one is from Hyper. The further into Blank you get, the more you appreciate how good a game it is. Becoming emotionally attached to its characters is almost unavoidable. Blank's journal entry about his family are quite touching, and we discover he's not quite the intrepid starship pilot he once seemed. As he becomes fond of the Blank, so do you, forgiving them their stupidity when they accidentally set off bomb rocks, killing half your squad. Even the beasties become more like neighbors as once.
Pikmin?
Pikmin. Correct.
Okay. Took me a moment.
Yeah, I figured the bomb rocks part might have given it away. Gex, that's right, it's Gex. The intrepid starship pilot. Alrighty. We're going back to EGM for this one, gamers. Let's see. Look at all the pretty colors. Yikes. Who's the madman that let the colors run rampant on this game? It's a visual overload. Blank tosses some new themes to the tired Sonic genre. In fact, you won't find any Sonic anywhere. If that isn't a shock, I don't know what is. Having a second character tagging along doing all sorts of scaling and zooming can get tiresome, but it does add some spice. For the 32X owners, this may be... Zara?
I thought so. It's chaotic.
Ding, ding, ding. You got
Barely beat
it.
me to it. Nice.
It's Sonic without Sonic. I can't believe they would come this far. Alright. Have you guys ever played Knuckles Chaotix? It's something.
Yeah, I did a collab with Ray.
Oh, awesome. It's very funny. The whole, like, tied together mechanic is baffling. Alright. So this next one, we're back at Super Play magazine here. He's finally made it. Well, nearly. Blank, the prehistoric bumpy-headed, baldy baby blokey who enjoyed some unparalleled success on the PC Engine, renamed Blank because he became... Sarah?
Super bonk.
Correct. Super Bonk for the Super Nintendo, or PC Kid, as the Super Play magazine would put it.
What did they call poor Bonk?
The prehistoric, bumpy-headed, baldy baby blokey.
Jeez.
His head's not even like...
Right.
They're wicked, they're vile. Kid looks for Raquel Welch, but finds Donald Pleasance. Okay. Cool. Alright. Magazines are awesome. This one, once again from EGM. Sunsoft has translated Blank, originally on the computer format, for the Super Nintendo system. Take control of a wild group of brainless rodents as they make their way through an endless variety of environments. Sarah?
Lemmings.
Whoop, I hit the wrong button. Correct! That's Lemmings for the Super Nintendo. A classic by, quote-unquote, by Sunsoft. I don't know what that was about Donald Pleasance. He's a silly guy.
You could just write
European
anything back
magazine.
then.
European magazines go crazy. They're awesome. Big fan. Alright. We're returning back to Game Fan for this one. Namco has really outdone themselves this time. Not only do you get a better version of the arcade monster, more details on the levels, more modes and options aplenty, but there's the infamous Edge Master mode, which takes you to the very limits, allowing you to become an expert. Danny?
Oh man.
Soul Blade.
Soul Blade, that is correct.
Funny thing, I was about to hit that buzzer way earlier, but my hand slipped.
Oh no!
Oh no.
You gotta keep that buzzer tight. I gotta just start shipping out actual buzzers to people on the show. Alright. EGM wrote this one. One of the most eagerly awaited Nintendo games to come along in a while. Strider. Oops. Amos?
Is it Strider?
You got it. I fucked up.
Let's go.
I fucked up big time. That's good. You cut me off before I got to a potential slur that they wrote in this one about the bad guys. So thank you.
Oh no.
This is how I win. This is how I win, Amos said.
All right, awesome. That game's cool, by the way. NES Strider. It's nothing like the other Striders, but it's really fascinating. All right, super play again with this one. Blank is a beat 'em up with, incredibly, a difference. Rather than the usual tough guys beating each other up with the familiar repertoire of moves, it features a set of bizarre clay animation figures. There's Frosty the Snowman with his deadly snowballs. Danny?
Clay Fighter?
Clay Fighter. You're in there. All right. Fancy a funny Street Fighter 2? You got it in Clay Fighter.
Did they call it a beat 'em up?
They did. That's
It's
why I
a-
didn't buzz it in.
It's a
Yeah.
European magazine. They're fucked up. It's insane that just stuck for a while. Fighting games were considered beat 'em ups, and I don't know why. All right. We're back to DC UK. This might sound a little strange, but Blank wasn't actually that good. In a desperate attempt to try to claw back some of the PlayStation-bound graphic tarts, example executive Sega marketing manager Andy Mee's words, not ours, Sega entrusted Sonic Team to develop an all-singing, all-dancing 3D adventure game with all of the usual lighting effects and tomfoolery we've now come to expect. The thing is, though, the Saturn, bless it, wasn't really up to the job, and everything ended up looking a bit messy, jerky, and vaguely unplayable. The game was a hit with a lot of die-hard Sonic Team fans who, frankly, would have bought anything the team made, but the gameplay was not without its merits. Playing a futuristic firefighter... Sarah?
Burning Rangers.
Correct. Sarah once again pulling ahead here. Let's see. It was Burning Rangers. It's insane. I don't know. I've played a little bit of this game, and it's insane for them to say it's just not good. I think it's an astounding example of early, like 32-bit 3D graphics.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's very cool. Oh, I see that number is getting off of the it's escaping. Get back in there. Get back in there, you. I didn't test how high my numbers would need to go. I just plopped them on there and said, Good enough. There we go. Got that all sorted out. This is the pilot episode. We're just testing the waters here. Alright. Back to Game Fan. Let's see. I was never a fan of blank. Chalk it up to deep-rooted distaste for rap music, or as Rubus likes to say, white boy ain't got no rhythm. Either way, I wasn't exactly doing backflips over the arrival of blank. However, then I noticed that it's rock music, not a single broken rap anywhere. This isn't to say it feels like heaven. I still think games like this are more fun to watch than play, but I can see where this one would definitely be money better spent. Too bad there isn't a blank alarm clock.
What?
Any guesses? They gave it an 81. It's a sequel.
It's a rock sequel to a rap game, is what I'm hearing.
Danny?
Jammer Lammy?
Correct.
Why would you describe it like that? What's wrong with you?
It's also lying. It has rap.
It sure does. Well, clearly this guy wasn't that big of a fan of music genre games in general.
Like, I was writing a review prompted off of one of those tweets that's like, explain something you like in the worst way possible.
Chalk it up to a deep-rooted distaste for rap music. Insane line.
That's fine. Put it in the review.
Put it in the review. Go ahead. Go for it. Alright, so we're back to Super Play on this one. Super Scope owners were probably feeling they were sold short when they bought that peculiar plastic bazooka. There hasn't been much in the way of quality software for this device since Yoshi's Safari last year. Blank may change all that, however. Designed by Software Creations, the people Danny?
Pinstar.
Tin Star is correct.
I knew renting that would pay off.
Wait, did you have the Super Scope or did you play with a controller?
I played with a controller.
Okay, that's crazy. Was Yoshi's Safari quality?
It sure wasn't.
Don't worry about it. I want a Super Scope. I want to play Super Scope. That'd be fun. This is the last question for this round, gamers. Once again, going back to Electronic Gaming Monthly. It's about time we saw Blank in his own game. Blank makes good use of the Game Gear hardware with colorful graphics. The screen blurs out when the screen moves too quickly, but overall it's not too bad. The gameplay is similar to the Mario games, plus Blank has some limited flight too. Sarah?
Hell's Adventure?
Correct. And Sarah Linne tying up with Danny at the end of round 1 here. Amos, you've got a little bit of catching up to do, but there's plenty more game to go around. So I'm sure you'll have your shot the next round. The next round might be able to pick things up a bit. But that's
I'm picking things up, play.
You're learning so much about video games. Yeah, round 1. Good job, everybody. Very awesome, very fun. I love reading insane, absurd video game reviews. They fill my heart with so much splendor and laughter and love. Awesome stuff. So, if everybody's all good, if everybody needs a break, now would be a great time, or else we're going to get round 2 underway.
I wouldn't mind a quick break.
Alrighty, that's no problem. We can take a short one. I didn't make a BRB screen for this, so we'll just go back to the setup screen. That's totally fine. And we'll be right back, everybody. Sit tight. And yeah, we'll be right back after these commercial messages. Roll commercial! we're back. Hello, we're back. I should make an in between and like stage for whatever. We're back. Hello. We've returned. We're ready for round 2. So how this one is going to work is I have collected a collection of magazine covers, and I have blurred them all out with various levels of blur. So I'll show them off, and our contestants here will see if they can figure out what the game being featured on the cover is, just based on the very, very blurred, pixelated cover. There are 3 levels of blur that I've got set up. The most blurriest, most indiscrutable. If they guess that, that'll get you 3 points. If you get it on the mid tier, that'll get you 2 points. And then on the lowest blur, that'll take us down to 1 point. Just like the previous round, you get 1 guess, so make sure you're confident when you're going in there, especially on those early highest blur count pictures. And a lot of the magazines that I've picked, they had like custom art made, so it's not entirely going to be, you know, super recognizable PNGs of the characters you may know and love. So do keep that in mind. So if we're ready to go, buzz in when you think you know it. I'll give everybody a moment on each tier before we knock it down and lower the point values. But here we go. Our first magazine cover. There it is. And make sure I have it streaming to our Discord too, so you can get a pretty good look there if you've got any ideas. Danny?
Final fight?
Correct. That's 3 points to Danny. So you saw that title belt. You knew the man,
I know Mike
the
Hager
myth,
anywhere, yeah.
the legend. This crazy oil painting of him with this huge trophy from Japanese magazine Gamist. It's quite an awesome piece. One of my faves. All right. So that's 3 points to Danny. Here's our next magazine cover. Schwa. Amos?
Killer 7.
Correct. Garshin Smith's iconic look is not hard to miss.
Iconic 7.
And his iconic 7, right there. Oh, I just finished that game last week. It's so good.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
It's pretty good. Like going from the super insanely quick Sentai like arc to this really crazy super real Garshin backstory plot was incredible. I love that game.
I got a little bit stuck on the school. I remember like not getting all the variables for one of the puzzles and just being like, I'm like going with like red lines on a corkboard mode about it.
Yeah, it's something else, but it's awesome. Wario shows his wares. It's about goddamn time. All right, next magazine coming at you in 3, 2, 1. Sarah?
Sonic Adventure?
There it is, Sonic Adventure. 3 points to Sarah. Good job so far, you guys. You've been knocking it out of the park. I know Sonic and his friends are a little they're a little iconic with their color designs and everything, but you nailed it. Game fan here. I've got a lot of
Is
game
Amy
fan.
okay?
She's fine. Don't worry
Having
about
a
it.
great time.
I've got a lot of covers from Game Fan because I quite like this art. It's very cool. You got Eggman popping off in the background up there. The Chaos drawing is very, very good, I gotta say. They knocked it out of the park. Is that Spaz art? Probably. Anyway, our next one coming at you in 3, 2, 1, boom. Now this one's a very colorful one. There's a lot going on here. Any guesses? Any confidence? Or you can take it down to a blur level to make things a little bit more decipherable.
I'm not against taking it down.
All right, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Things are a little more legible. Sarah.
Secret of Mana.
Secret of Mana. 2 points for Sarah. This was by a Super Play. They also would make their own art for stuff. And it's pretty good. The hair is kind of insanely huge and big.
Yeah.
But
It was a style at the time.
yeah, of course. It's quite awesome. And they reviewed Sparkster in that issue. I love that game.
I thought
game-
that was Crash Bandicoot off of a big game.
Yeah, I can see the jorts.
Yeah,
I
the
see what you see there.
The jorts and the giant orange head. Yeah. Oh god, I was going over some old Dragon Ball magazines I used to read as a kid, and one of the covers they had, which they were from Beckett, who I believe they were mainly focused on like trading cards and stuff, but they would do their own unofficial magazines, and they would always have custom art on them, and the art was pretty crazy. There's one in particular of Trunks with his sword, and he's got his jacket, his muscles are breaking through his jacket, but they just gave him like regular ass Wrangler jeans and a belt for some reason. It looks really weird. I'll show you guys later, it's good. Anyway, our next magazine cover, here we go. 3, 2, 1, boom. Sarah?
It looks like Killer Instinct.
That is incorrect.
Oh well.
Danny?
Mortal Kombat Mythologies?
Correct. That is Mortal
yeah.
Kombat Mythologies. Yeah, I thought the big logo might still be out there with how blurry it is, but here he is, the man, the myth, the legend, with all of his best friends in the background.
It did kind of look like Fulgore, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look like ice, it looks like electricity. I don't really know what they were going with that, but it's a cool pose. It's a cool guy. Alright. Danny has taken the lead by 1 point now. We got a real race to the top. Oh, they reviewed Front Mission in that magazine. Cool. And
NMGS?
Poiter's Point? What is that?
Winnie's Point?
Poiter's Point. Is that supposed to be Pointy's Point? Who knows? Anyway, oh yeah, there's a Jersey Devil in there, and Tonic Trouble, and Steel Rain. Blasto goes
Alundra.
crazy. Alundra.
Evil game.
It's awesome. Dracula 3D. What the fuck is that?
Might be Castlevania 64?
Maybe, I guess.
Because they're reviewing some Japanese games in there.
True. You might be onto something. Alright. Next one. 3, 2, 1, boom. Oh, Danny?
Resident Evil.
Correct. Wow, very impressive.
I
This
squinted
one,
really hard.
yeah, this one you can sort of make out the text there, but even so, the art does not scream Resident Evil in the slightest.
Oh, this is awesome.
It's awesome, but I don't know how they got there. It's great. I should look into who the actual artist is because it's very stylized. The hyper eyes. Very PSP core. That's a great way of putting it. Wow, Super Mario Adventure. What?
They just made up a game.
They just made up a game. It's fine. They're allowed. They're allowed to do that. And Pokemon Yellow and WWF WrestleMania. All the best. All the best stuff. Alright. Our next... Oh, wow. Oh, this was back when it was still called the Nintendo Dolphin. Crazy. Our next magazine cover in 3, 2, 1, boom. Sarah?
Bart versus the Space Mutants.
That is incorrect, I'm afraid.
Ah.
Danny?
Bart versus the world.
Correct. I know.
Twice?
Is this gonna be in every single category?
You know, you never know.
It's just gonna be my default answer from now on.
Of course. That's Earth. Of course.
Of course. You can see Florida right there. And Bart, he's
I
back.
don't want to see Florida.
Hey, now. Oh. I can't believe, just like, you know, Mega Man 4, Super Adventure Island, all this stuff, and Bart is the cover boy for this issue. That's insane. Alright. Here comes our next magazine cover in 3, 2, 1, boom. A lot of colorful characters out there. There's a lot going on with this one. It is a lot.
Interesting.
Right? Any guesses? Or I can.
I feel like I can tell who the artist is. I have no idea what the game is.
Ah, I got you. Let's see. Well, then I will bump down the blur in 3, 2, 1. A little bit clearer there. If anybody's got any ideas. Amos?
Well, the frontmost characters look to me like Pocky and Rocky.
Correct.
See, this was bothering me because one of the back characters is from Goemon.
Yeah, and this is just like a bunch of shit, I think.
No, it was an illusion. Oh no.
It was an illusion. Kiki Kai Kai 2 import review
this-
inside.
Pocky and Rocky with Becky.
It's a real lot going on there. Oh, and there's a Super Metroid Complete Guide inside. Awesome. Hey, new anime. They got anime and everything. Super Play goes crazy. There was an issue where they reviewed like Dragon Ball Z Super Butoden 2, and they called Goku a chap for throwing a Kamehameha. I thought that was fascinating.
Classic chap.
Classic chap move. Alright. Our next magazine in 3, 2, 1. Very blurry. A lot of color. A lot going on. I feel like this one is a bit of a deeper cut than some others, but once it comes clear, it'll become so clear. This is a Minecraft painting. True. If we don't have any guesses, then I will knock down the blur in 3, 2, 1. Things are a little bit clearer. Things are shaping up a little bit more. Sarah?
Is this Mega Man 8?
Incorrect, I'm afraid. Anybody else? Danny, Amos? Or I will knock the blur down once again in 3, 2, 1. A lot clearer now. A lot going on.
Frickin'
Wait, no.
Danny?
Cannon Spike.
Cannon Spike. That's 1 point for Danny. I
I
figured
forgot that ever existed.
a lot of people
In-
did. It's a
In the like biggest blur, I was like, "Is that Super Mario RPG?" I finally saw Mario.
hmm There's a lot going on here. There's a lot of colorful characters. Mega Man up in the front, like, I feel was like the closest thing to a giveaway, but there's just so much in this art piece.
hmm
All right. Oh, you're not alone. Mage also saw Mario.
It's good.
All right. Our next magazine coming at you in 3, 2, 1. Boom. Yes, Mega Man and BB Hood were secret characters where if you go off of the grid, they just pop up on the sides. It's quite awesome. This is actually my
Terrifying.
It's a bit terrifying. This is actually my first time running on a game show. But I would like to do it more. I'm having a lot of fun. It's very cool. But thank you all for showing up for my cool game show. If nobody has a guess, then I will reduce the...
I'll guess.
Amos?
I'll guess. There's no way, but that's Legend of Zelda
Legend of Zelda.
number 1. The third one.
Incorrect.
No.
Incorrect. If anybody else has a guess, or I will take the blur down in 3, 2, 1. A little bit clearer. Danny?
A Link to the Past?
Correct. This is
Wow.
This is a Link to the Past specific. It's got Super Play at the top for Super Nintendo gaming.
Why is he nude?
What's going on?
We strip Zelda 3 bare, and poor old Link
Whoa.
doesn't come off too lightly either.
Oh my god.
What are they doing?
It's pretty bold. This was issue number 2 from these guys. And they just fired off on all cylinders. Ooh, Soul Blazer.
I guess you gotta like do something to make a name for yourself out there.
Wait, Sonic Blastman, RoboCop. I thought Sonic Blastman and RoboCop were part of the same title, so I was like, "There's no Sonic Blastman 3. What are you talking about?" But no, those are 2 completely different video games. This cover is insane to me. This cover is
Yeah.
insane to me.
Seriously.
Thank you, Sneakernets. Thank you for the Prime subscription. Alright. Let's see. Alright, this next one, we're coming at you in 3, 2, 1, boom.
Huh.
There's a lot going on here. Danny?
Street Fighter Alpha 3.
Correct.
I thought so. That,
I
that
could
3
barely
is
make out that
extremely
logo.
distinctive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the logo is very iconic, but lo and behold, there is a lot going on here.
Of course, there's also that FF8 logo right there.
Yeah, they really throwing you a curveball, throwing Ryu in Ken's red gi, but the Blanca on the cover is insane. He is one of the most terrifying things I've ever seen drawn by human hands. Quite good, quite cool. The Final Fantasy VIII logo slapped in the corner is quite funny too. Big fan.
RPG Nirvana. Wow.
Is that true? I've never played that one. Is that true?
Game Fan says so.
Well, I'm inclined to believe them. You know, I played a demo of Final Fantasy VIII. It was on a Pizza Hut demo disc. And from what I could remember, it's from a part of the game where you don't actually have like the full party yet. But since they wanted to show off the proper mechanics, they threw in the girl with the staff in there, and she's just completely silent in every cutscene. And I was like, "What's the deal with that?" And I found out later, oh, she's not supposed to be there.
Yeah,
I thought
Square,
that was
Square liked to do that a bunch. They also did that with the Xenogears demo. They put Ellie and Bart in your party, even though it's like parts where Faye is alone, and they actually have like dialogue making light of it.
Oh, really? I think it makes sense because you want to like show off the full party mechanics, but it's just fascinating that they just throw you into these parts where you're not supposed to have like the full party. They did that with FF7? Whoa. I never knew. I never played that one either. My Final Fantasy experience is FF1 on NES and Crisis Core on PSP. Our next magazine, we're gonna show that in 3, 2, 1, boom. There's a lot to this one. There are many things going on.
No.
Yeah, they've definitely taken some liberties with the art. I'll say that much. If nobody has a guess, then I will reduce the blur in 3, 2, 1. A little bit clearer. Sarah?
It's that one Adam's Family game, Pugly Scavenger Hunt or whatever.
Correct.
Damn, nice.
What a bull.
He looks like the comic version of Pugsley,
Yeah.
and you can see Gomez behind him.
There's Gomez. There's the whole family there. Insane cover
Wednesday
story.
looks like an American Dad character.
It's something. I'm kind of surprised with everything that came out in that month, like Batman Returns, Psycho Dreams, Evil Sword, Mickey Mouse Magical Quest, Bart's Nightmare, but they still went for Adam's Family for the cover story. Pretty insane. He's plotting, he's scheming, he's up to no good. It's Ocean's best game yet. That's
Is it?
I guess it is. The cartoon was pretty big, if you recall. Oh. Incredible standards, yeah, compared to like Jurassic Park and Dennis the Menace. I'm sure Pugsley is their best hit by far. Alright. Our next magazine, we're gonna show that in 3, 2, 1. Amos.
That's Majora's Mask.
Correct. Even at like the highest level of blur I could do, you can't hide those eyes.
Yeah, that's a very, very iconic mask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the colors and everything. The drawing itself is really cool. I really like how they stylized Link there. There's so many like colors and shades on his clothes.
He looks like he should be on a French Amiga game cover.
A little bit. A little bit. Is this Nintendo's finest hour? And you're right, this is the last true enthusiastic magazine. Nobody had enthusiasm other than Game Fan at this point. Alright. Our next magazine I will show in 3, 2, 1. Boom. Sarah?
Secret of Evermore.
Correct. You spotted that dog right off the bat.
I was playing it 2 days ago with Chair.
Incredible. There he is with his iconic bone. The Ultra 64 is coming, you guys.
Was that the code name for the 64, or is that the dolphin before it was the dolphin?
It was the code name for the N64.
Yeah.
They
Square's...
didn't go too far away from that one.
No, I love Square USA's Mana Beater hits the UK as if they're like at arms with each other or something. Very strange, but this art's quite awesome, quite cool. He's got a bone. He's got his red jacket, blue shorts. Awesome guy. All right, and we're on our last magazine cover here. I will count down and we will take a look at this last one in 3, 2, 1. Sarah?
Plus 64.
Correct.
Oh yeah, true.
No.
Yep.
You could make him out right away, huh? What's his
The
name?
famous
Brian?
Brian from Quest 64.
Better than Zelda? Question mark? He doesn't
Yes.
look too enthused or enthralled to be on this adventure here.
Awesome piece of art. Again, kind of giving Amiga to me here as well.
Yeah, it's the artist for Game Fan really liked that like heavy shading. This was a good issue. It's got Bloody Roar, Burning Rangers, FF Tactics. A lot
That's
of
an
bangers.
exclusive interview with Bruce Campbell. Groovy.
True. He loves Panzer Dragoon Saga. All right, so that's round 2 done and done. We can take a look at the scoreboard here. Danny with a bit of a lead, 43 points. Sarah not too far behind at 32. Amos, you might be able to catch up in the next one. We got some big turnarounds coming in the next one.
For sure.
For sure. Have confidence. So yeah, and then now again, if anybody does need a break or anything, this would be a great time before we get to round 3 here.
I'm fine to go.
We're all
I'm
good?
too.
I'm fine.
Alrighty then. We can just get round 3 underway. So this one is akin to fan favorite out there, a little TV show you might remember called Family Feud, where we've got top 10s I've plucked up from different video game magazines throughout the years. Give Emos a special question for 10 points. It might be fair. That would be fair.
Show me the list for this next one before you move the category.
It's covering me up. That's funny.
Oh yeah. My set
It's for the
might need a
best.
little work. That's okay. I'll duck my head down from time to time, I guess. So I have pulled together various top 10s, and in one case, your top 5 from different magazines. So, how it'll work, you'll each get to take turns here. We'll start with Amos at the lowest score, and then we'll just go clockwise. So Amos, Sarlene, Danny in that order. And you'll get to guess something that could have showed up on this top 10 list. If you get the number 1 answer, you get 5 points added to your score. Number 2 will net you 3 points. Number 3 will net you 2, and everything else 4 to 10 will net you 1 point. So for this first top 10 here, this was from Hyper, Australia's #1 gaming magazine, issue number 100, which came out in February 2002. We are going to figure out what they decided were the top 10 best PlayStation 1 games of all time ever made, ever. And we'll be operating on a 3-strike system where you can get up to 3 things wrong. But as I said, we'll be going in clockwise order, right or wrong on these answers. So, Amos, if you would like to get us started, what you think was a top 10 PlayStation 1 title?
Vagrant Story.
Vagrant Story. That is incorrect, I'm afraid.
Fuck this magazine.
What?
They're wrong.
Oh, sorry, Amos. They just didn't know. They couldn't possibly know. This is Australia. Maybe they didn't get it. Who knows? Anyway, Sarah, would you like to take a guess?
Resident Evil 2.
Resident Evil 2, correct. That was the number 5 top 10 game. So that is 1 extra point for Sarlene.
I knew because it's on top of my head right now.
Exactly. You can see behind the bar. You can see it written backwards. Danny, give us a guess. Give us a go.
I'll say Symphony of the Night.
Correct. If you can believe that was only number 7 of the top
Surprised it's
10.
on there, to be honest.
I think Symphony Night, as far as like 2D games go, was probably the most popular game on the PlayStation, right? Like I can't think of too many other 2D games that were quite as renowned as
Yeah, because they're
Symphony
all
of the
on
Night.
like, oh, 2D is like the past.
Exactly,
2D games
exactly.
look bad.
I've read so many bullshit reviews on like Mega Man 8 and Mega Man X4 and that stuff just because it's not 3D. It drives me crazy. Anyway, Amos, back to you. Give us a
Final
guess.
Fantasy 7.
Correct. That one was number 3. So that'll net you 2 points.
Yippee!
Yippee. Oh, I never gave Danny a point. I gotta keep on top of that. Chat, you gotta keep me honest. You gotta make sure that I'm staying on top of things. Alright, Sarah, back to you.
Gran Turismo 2.
Gran Turismo 2. That is incorrect, I'm
Wow,
afraid.
that's surprising. It's one of the most popular PS1 games ever, but I guess they didn't think so.
I guess not.
Hey! Many things.
Alright, so Danny, back to you.
Crash Bandicoot Warped.
Incorrect.
Wow.
No Crash Bandicoot Warped. Amos?
Metal Gear Solid 1.
Correct, and that was the number 1 most popular best game ever made for the PlayStation. So that's a resounding 5 points for Amos.
Yeah, the 5
Climbing.
point dinger.
The 5-point zinger. Like, I get it, Metal Gear's an iconic game. Like, I'm a little bit surprised at number 1, but I'm more so surprised at number 2. But I guess we'll figure that out. Sarah.
I'm still in shock. Final
Final Fantasy VIII.
Incorrect, I'm afraid. That's 2 strikes for you, Sarah. Be careful out there. Danny?
Let's go with Tekken 3.
Correct. Tekken 3. And they had to make mention in their article there. Specifically, they talked about the NTSC version. Apparently, the PAL version is really slow and sluggish, so they imported the American version so they could play it in their little clubhouse. Fun fact for you. Tekken 3. That's 1 extra point for Danny Sardeus. Amos, back to you.
Ridge Racer R4.
Incorrect. I'm afraid there is no Ridge Racer here.
Australians, man.
Australians. Danny? Sorry, Sarah? Got half the board filled out here.
Yeah, it's just that I'm about to get eliminated. How about Silent Hill?
Silent Hill. Unfortunately, there is no Silent Hill on this list. Surprising. Hyper. I don't know what they were at. I'm sorry, Sarah, but that'll be it for you for this round. But there are more top 10, so don't worry. You'll be able to come back. You'll claw your way back up. Danny, how are you feeling?
Spyro 2.
Incorrect, I'm afraid. That is your second strike. We're each at 2 strikes now, so be careful, you guys. Amos, back to you.
What's on my last strike?
Yes.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
Correct. Coming in at number 4, so that's an extra point for Amos.
Okay.
All right, Danny?
That's all the PlayStation games. Did they make any more?
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure the Adventure of Little Ralph is gonna be number 10. I'm just gonna give you a freebie there.
I'm just gonna say Soul Blade.
Incorrect, I'm afraid. So, Danny, you are out. Amos, now it's time for your clean sweep.
Yeah, I'm gonna sweep these. Don't say Chrono Cross. Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider is there at number 8. 1 extra point for you, Danny, or Amos. And I guess keep on
Hey,
going,
Danny,
Amos.
Danny needs it.
Danny needs the points, yeah. Come on, share.
PlayStation 1 games.
Go into your inner Australian and see what comes out.
Time of Tasmanian Tiger was a PS2 game, so that's not gonna be on here. Resident Evil was on here. So Danny said Spyro 2 specifically.
Correct.
I'm going to say Spyro the Dragon 1.
Incorrect.
Okay.
There is no Crash or Spyro on this list for some reason, for some godforsaken reason. So let's go on over what we missed. Number 10, and I did not expect anybody to guess this one. Number 10 was Colin Macri Rally.
Oh, shout
They
out.
would.
Shout out.
Shout outs Colin Macri. Let's see. Number 6, Oddworld Abe's Odyssey.
Oh, I thought that one might be.
And then number 2 was Wipeout 2097.
Really?
Better than Final Fantasy VII. Wipeout
Such a PAL region
2097.
list.
Yeah.
Better than Vagrant Story.
Come on, it's Wipeout, dude. Come on.
Wipeout's great, but I don't think it's that popular.
I don't know what they were on, but they said it. That was this
They
was
were on Colin McRae's rally. That's what they were on.
they were on Colin
Hey,
McRae's
I'll
rally.
co-sign Colin McRae's rally. Those games are pretty good.
But yeah, that's from Hyper's issue number 100. They're great big deal. Next up, we're going to be doing that top 5 that I mentioned earlier. So this is from Super Play Gold, which was like a special edition that they published in 1993. So all specifically Super Nintendo games. This is the top 5 in video game music scores. Let's start with Sarah.
Final Fantasy VII.
Are you sure about that one? This is Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo. Sorry. Final Fantasy VI.
Incorrect, I'm afraid.
I was half paying attention for some reason.
It's all good. Danny, back to you.
How about ActRaiser?
Correct. ActRaiser was number 2 best soundtrack ever made ever. Incredible work, Danny. So that's an extra 3 points for Sarduce. Amos.
Chrono Trigger.
Incorrect.
Well, they're
remember-
wrong then.
Remember, this magazine was published in 1993.
Okay,
Oh.
fair enough. Fair enough.
Chrono Trigger would absolutely be on there otherwise.
I mean,
Sarah, back to you.
I think 93. That's a tough one. A lot of good stuff came out in 93.
Mm-hmm.
A Link to the Past?
Incorrect, I'm afraid. Link to the Past won a lot of prizes from that top 5 list that they did, but nothing in the music scores. That's your second strike, Sarah. Be careful out there. Danny, back to you.
I'll go with Final Fantasy II.
Incorrect.
Hell.
Thank you, Happy Toaster. Amos?
Super Ghouls and Ghosts and Goblins. I forget which. You know the one.
No, unfortunately, there's no Super Ghouls and Ghosts here. Sarah, back to you.
Mega Man X.
Unfortunately, and it's a goddamn crime, but no, Mega Man X did not make the cut.
Wow.
Sorry, Sarah. You'll have to sit this one out. Danny, back to you.
Let's see. Super Castlevania 4.
Correct. That was their number 1 pick. So that's
Oh,
an
man,
extra
based.
5 points
It
for
has some good
Danny.
music, but a lot of it's ambient.
I think that might be what they liked about it, perhaps. But, you know, it does have some bangers. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Mega Man X was 94 in the West, and this was UK, so probably even later. Amos, you're on 2 strikes right now, but you got 3 more chances here.
Oh, I have to be quite honest. SNES is not my like strong suit. Specifically 93 and before. Super Mario World.
No, unfortunately, Mario did not make the musical cut. So Danny, you're only on 1 strike here, so you got some shots.
Mario World was gonna be my next guess. Legend of the Mystical Ninja.
Correct. There it
Whoa.
is. Number 3.
These guys know what they're talking about? What the hell?
Somehow, like they really steered clear from most of the like big core Nintendo titles, which is interesting. I mean, again, there were many top 5s on that issue that they did, and a lot of those swept those other categories. But the music one is like pretty off the beaten path, I'd say. All right, so you still have 2 chances here to get these last 2.
Okay, check this out.
Mm-hmm.
Super Adventure Island.
No, that did not make the cut.
Oh.
So that's your 2nd strike. It's dawning on me now. I should have put strike things somewhere on the screen, but I'll remember that for next time. You got 1 more chance, Danny.
What is a Super Nintendo game with music?
There's a lot of them.
Dino City.
Incorrect, I'm afraid.
I don't know why
yes,
that was the
Dinosity.
first one to come to mind. Yeah, Dinosity.
Dinosity. They also had Contra 3, The Alien Wars, also known as
Oh.
Super Probotector over there, and a Super Star Wars.
This list
Which-
is screwed up.
That's
man.
cheating.
I guess they just liked the ambient Star Wars music, the fact that they could make it sound like Star Wars. I guess. I don't know.
This is a very funny list.
Very funny.
Okay, I'm
list.
going over to the UK with the gun. Just give me a little bit.
Okay, well, make sure you got extra animosity because this next one is also a UK magazine. This is from Edge, issue number 100. Or no, sorry. I got my thing mixed up. Edge, issue number 128, which came out in October 2003. This one was not actually like numbered in a tier system, so every question here will just be worth 2 points instead of the different hierarchies that I've had. But this one was from October 2003. It is top 10 beat 'em up games. And remember, UK
UK.
beat 'em ups, which could mean anything. So, let's see. Amos, let's start with you.
2003 UK top 10 beat 'em ups.
Yeah, of all time, so not just
Of
like
all
what
time,
just
of
came out.
Mortal Kombat 3.
No, unfortunately. No Mortal Kombat. Sarah?
Knowing what the UK calls beat 'em ups makes this tough. But I'm still gonna guess Streets of Rage 2.
No, unfortunately. No Streets of Rage. Danny, how about you?
Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Correct. That was number 7.
Definitely a beat 'em up.
Definitely a beat 'em up. All right, Amos, back to you.
Street Fighter 2.
Could you be more specific?
Turbo.
There it is. Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Specifically Turbo. No one wants to play the regular classic Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
All right,
They're
sorry.
still figuring out beat 'em ups back in regular
Something needs to be done about the British. Back to you,
Mortal
Sarah.
Kombat 3?
I did that
No.
one already.
I will let
So-
I will let you re-guess because Amos already guessed Mortal Kombat
Oh,
3.
sorry.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 2.
No, I'm afraid not. No Mortal Kombat here. Danny.
Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur.
Is it there?
Soul
There it
Calibur
is.
2.
Oh, okay, close enough.
There you go. Specifically 2. I think they specifically mean the GameCube version because everybody loves that Link's in that game. Amos.
I'm thinking about beat 'em ups. I'm trying to think of more beat 'em ups. King of Fighters 98.
No, unfortunately. There are no King of Fighters here. That's your second strike. Sarah, you're also on your second strike.
Capcom versus SNK 2.
Correct. That one. Millionaire Fighting 2001. There we go.
Nice.
Yeah, no King of Fighters, but they did get Capcom vs SNK. Danny, back to you.
How about Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3?
No, there's no Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3.
We're so desperate. There's gotta be at least one of them, right?
Surely there's Mortal Kombat here. Yeah, back to you, Amos.
Smash Brothers 64.
No, unfortunately.
Shit,
No
I forget.
Smash
That's
Brothers.
not beat 'em up.
That's not beat 'em up. That's playing
Smash
with
is-
toys.
Yeah, Smash isn't a beat 'em up. Everyone always says that, and I forgot.
It's a party game. They don't beat each other up. It's a platformer. Yeah, board the platforms. Come on. All right, Sarah, it's back to you.
Third Strike.
Correct. Third Strike also made the list. Wait,
That's.
no, that's.
Oh no!
Oops.
I know what my next guess is.
Oops. Well, that's not even the right one. God damn it. But also, I was wrong. It was actually Alpha 3, but I'll give you the points anyway, because I'm ever so kind and generous.
It's always hard to tell if somebody will like Third Strike or Alpha 3. They usually don't like both.
True. And Danny. Danny.
Let's say Samurai Showdown 2.
That is incorrect, I'm afraid. Sarah?
Tekken 4.
No, that is incorrect. So, back to Danny. You got one strike left. Do you want
Tekken
the
3?
free Tekken 3? No, there's no Tekken on this list. But as I accidentally pointed out, Virtual Fighter 3 TB is there. There was Rocky for PS2.
What? What a pull.
Beautiful Joe.
What?
It's a beat 'em up. There was Dead or Alive 3
Oh, yeah, okay.
and Virtual Fighter Evolution. So 2 Street Fighters, 2 Virtual Fighters, 2 Capcom crossovers, but no Tekken, no Mortal Kombat.
Bizarre.
It's because they liked Virtua Fighter.
Having Beautiful Joe among all of these is so funny. That's like a list of 9 fighting games and like Lord of the Rings with 2 towers for PS2.
Yeah, I was gonna ask what Kenster asked in chat. Did they misspell Virtua Fighter or did you?
They misspelled Virtual Fighter.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Nice.
You would never.
Is
I would
boxing
never.
a beat 'em up? Rocky is a boxing game.
Yeah, no, yeah, he's beating them up. What do you mean?
Okay.
It's an action adventure.
So true. All right, so this next one, we're on top 10 format once again, and this one does have a proper hierarchy, so we're returning to our previous scoring format. Of first, number 1 gets you 5 points, number 2 gets you 3 points, number 3 gets you 2 points, everything else gets you 1 point. This is from Nintendo Power, issue 78, which came out in 1995. They wrote their review and their top 10 for the top 10 NES games. Amos, let's start out with you.
Top 10 NES games.
NES games from 1995, so long since past the NES's heyday.
Zelda 1.
Correct. Number one.
Number one answer.
The number one answer.
Good answer. You need like a good answer.
Good answer. Good answer. Way to go. You did it. All right. Sarah, over to you. Top 10 NES games.
Punch Out.
Punch Out. Punch Out did not make the list, I'm afraid. Which is insane. Considering what's on this list, it's kind of insane. Danny, over to you.
Super Mario 3.
Correct. That was number 2. So that's an extra 3 points over to Danny. It's gotta be Mario 3, right? That was one of the most iconic games of all time. Amos, back to you. Yeah, and again, this was when like Nintendo was done with NES. I believe the last game came out in '94, at least like officially. So the entire roster is here.
Final Fantasy. The
Correct. Final Fantasy is here at number 8. So that's 1 extra point. Master of Final Fantasy, Amos, Western style guy.
third. It's on my mind.
Awesome. Back to you, Sarah.
I read a lot of Nintendo Power. Let's see. Mega Man 6?
Correct. Mega Man
They were really
6.
fond of that game, unlike a lot of people. So I was just guessing.
Unlike a lot of people, like, I understand, Mega Man X came out before Mega Man 6, so people were really kind of like, why would I go back and play this game? But Nintendo Power, they loved Mega Man 6. It also helps Nintendo themselves, like, helped to directly publish Mega Man 6, so maybe they were a little biased in that regard. But yeah, Mega Man 6 made their number 3 best NES game ever. Danny, back to you.
I want to see Castlevania 3.
Good
Castlevania
answer.
3. Good answer. Good answer. It is incorrect.
No.
That's a strike for you, Danny. Watch out. Amos.
Kid Icarus.
Kid Icarus. Good answer. Good answer. Good answer. I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Everybody's got a single strike now, I believe. We're back to you, Sarah.
Metroid.
Metroid. Good answer. Correct. And coming in at number 4, Metroid. We're back on top. We've almost got the entire top half bracket down. Danny, what you got?
Let's see. Contra.
Let's see Contra. Show me Contra. No Contra, unfortunately.
No, not the buzzer.
No Contra. That's your second strike, Danny. Amos, back to you.
River City Ransom.
Sorry, there's no River City Ransom on this list. That's also your second strike. Sarah, what do we got?
Adventure of Link.
Correct. Zelda 2 coming in at
Zelda
number 6.
Ooh, as well as 1. Interesting.
Yeah, they Nintendo Power may like the Nintendo games. Danny, you're on your last shot here. What you got?
I gotta go with my heart. DuckTales.
DuckTales. Come on, show me DuckTales. I'm sorry, Danny. There's no DuckTales on this list. You've been eliminated from this round.
That's actually wild.
Amos, back to you.
Thinking of any game. Gradius.
Gradius? No, there is no Gradius, I'm afraid. So, Sarah, it's back to you. I believe it's all up to you now.
Let's see. How about... Oh gosh, I'm going through going through all the list of stuff that people have already mentioned here, and I'm just suddenly blanking. Best NES game of all time, top 10.
Top 10. All the big boys. There's no Punch Out. There's no Kid Icarus.
Mario 1?
No, there is no Mario 1, but correct me if I'm wrong, but that was on, you were only on one strike, correct? So
Yeah.
You still have one more chance.
Dr. Mario.
Dr. Mario is correct. Dr. Mario was there on number 7. I can't believe it. Alright, keep going. You're still in there.
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong? There is no Donkey Kong, unfortunately. Number 5 on this list here was NES Open Tournament Golf.
Whatever.
Better than Zelda 2, better than Final Fantasy.
RBI baseball.
Number 9 was Nintendo World Cup. And number 10,
Is the last one also sports?
Baseball Stars.
No. Got everything but the sports games.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, NES baseball games go pretty hard.
For sure, but there are so many better games than like Nintendo World Cup and Tournament Golf. Like the fact that Punch Out, there's not a single Konami game on this list.
Yeah,
It's
like,
crazy.
Even if I'd guessed sports, I would have been like Tecmo Bowl.
Exactly. It's just crazy to think that what beat out some other stuff here. All right, so we're on this is my last top 10, and that's gonna be it. That'll be the end of the show. So this could be the chance. This could be the Amos sweep that we're looking for.
I'm just gonna guess I don't know if that's mathematically still gonna put me ahead of Danny.
You never know. Dreams could come true. So yeah, let's start with let's see. Sarah went last. So let's start with Danny here. This is from Electronic Gaming Monthly, issue 100, which came out in November of 1997. This is a pretty broad sweep right now. These are the top 10 from their top 100 best games of all time. So there's no like restrictions or anything. It's all just the best games ever before 1997 November. So Danny, what do you got? What do you think?
Whoa. I bet Tetris is on here.
If you can believe that, Tetris is number 1, the best game ever made. Ever.
Fine, sure.
If they're Electronic Gaming Monthly, they know what they're talking about. I can't believe it. But, Amos, it's up to you.
Doom 2.
Doom 2, there is no Doom here, I'm afraid. No Doom at all in the top 10. I will say I'm looking at the titles and nothing that's like PC is here.
I figured, but that would be. I wanted to make a political statement here.
That's fair. You can say Vagrant Story again next time. All right, Sarah, top 10 best games of all time, circa November 1997.
As usual, I'm going to throw out Final Fantasy VII.
No, unfortunately, Final Fantasy VII did not make the cut. I do believe that one's on the list, just not in the top 10.
Fair enough.
Danny, back to you.
97, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Resident Evil?
No, there's no Resident Evil here. So everybody's looking at one strike right now. Amos?
Link to the Past.
Correct. That was number 3. Best game ever made. Beating out Ocarina of Time, if you can believe that. I believe Ocarina of Time wasn't too far behind, but still not even in the top 10, which is crazy in this, 3D-oriented world we were in. Oh, wait. No, Ocarina of Time was out by then, right? It didn't exist yet? Oh, I'm stupid.
Man.
I'm stupid.
How could
Sarah.
you misremember one Ocarina of Time came out?
You're right. You're right.
Mario Brothers 3.
Mario Brothers 3. Boom. The number 2 best game ever made. So that's an extra 3 points to you, Sarah. Back to Danny.
I bet you they would have put a Sonic up there, so let's say Sonic 2.
Unfortunately, there's no Sonic to be found here.
Damn.
Somehow.
They're just wrong.
That they might just be wrong, to be honest with you. They didn't know any better. Amos?
This was 97, right?
Correct.
Mario 64?
Correct. See, that's what always
Okay.
throws me off. In my head, like, Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time go hand in hand, so it's like, of course they came out around the same time, but no, that is not the case. But, yeah, that's an extra point for Amos. Back to you, Sarah.
Super Metroid.
Super Metroid, correct. At number 6 here. Super Metroid, a fantastic, my personal favorite Metroid, but they're all good. Danny.
I'm seeing their bent here. There doesn't seem to be.
They may be Nintendo fans.
Yeah.
All right, once again, I'm going to go with Symphony of the Night.
Incorrect, unfortunately. And that was your third strike, Danny. But who knows? Maybe the other two might be able to catch up to you and score. Amos, back to you.
Final Fantasy 6.
Correct. 7 didn't make the cut, but 6 just
You
barely
know,
climbed in.
When you said they're Nintendo fans, I remembered how betrayed those people felt about Final Fantasy 7 being on a PlayStation. I remember that.
Yeah.
Exactly. We never got our Final Fantasy 64. It's tragic. So Sarah, back to you.
Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Correct. Street Fighter 2 Turbo in the number 5 spot.
Number 5. I was expecting it to be like 10.
Street Fighter 2 Turbo was one of the best-selling Super Nintendo games ever made. Like, it usurps a lot of big Nintendo titles. It was huge. The number 1 beat 'em up, yeah. All right, Amos, back to you. We got 3 more we can fill out.
God, this is now it's tough because I have to like smooth my mind to like the broadest like top 10 list here.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get the... Actually, no, GoldenEye wouldn't have come out yet. Can I get a Chrono Trigger?
Unfortunately, there's no Chrono Trigger on this list.
No, wait, Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, Chrono Trigger was 96, I believe. At least in America. But, yeah, no one there. Was that your second or third strike? I forget. We'll say it was the second one.
I appreciate it. I was gonna say it probably statistically is my third one.
Sarah, back to you.
Okay, I'm basing this on their bias here. Yoshi's Island.
Correct. Yoshi's Island at number 7. Amos? You got 2 more slots here to fill.
Two more slots. I think we have all the console games that I know about on the board. Hold on.
It's okay. It's a big pool. There's not really many restrictions like the other stuff out there.
It's a big pool.
Yeah, in my research, it was kind of hard to find like top 10s in magazines, let alone top 10s that were like good.
How about F-Zero?
There's no F-Zero, unfortunately. So Sarah, back to you. You got your last chance to check out these last two spots here.
Super Mario World.
Super Mario World did not make the cut, I'm afraid. And I believe that was your last strike. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last two here were Contra 3: The Alien Wars, bit of a surprise, and then the
Nintendo
last
World
one.
Cup.
And you're never gonna believe this one. I did not believe my eyes. Number 10, best game ever. Saturn Bomberman.
Oh, let's go.
It's a great game, but I don't know how in the fuck it made it the top 10. Like, just with how fucking swayed and biased the rest of these all feel. Like,
That's an amazing
Saturn
pull.
Bomberman is an insane pool. It's a great game. I just can't believe it. It's the only non-Nintendo one. It's Sega Saturn Bomberman. Insane. But that is all my questions that I have. So, without further ado, we can loud and proud announce our winner here of the very first ever archive attack is Danny Sarduce. Congratulations, Danny.
Stand back, I'm about to pop off. Are you get at least 15 feet away. Are you ready for this?
That sour goose is going wild. Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you.
How do we feel? How did I do? Did I put on a good show? This is the part where you have to praise me and critique me.
That was awesome. I had a lot of fun.
That was fun. I did feel like a little bit of a fish out of water. I don't think there was a single PC game anywhere.
No, there's the PC reviewers tended to stick to their own magazines, I feel, and that truthfully
Yeah,
that's a
for
world
sure.
I just haven't really explored too much of. But
So you got to get a stack of PC Gamer.
you're right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of PC magazines out there that I could take deeper dives into, but this was a lot of fun. I would like to keep doing these. I'd like to do more. I've got a lot of the assets and stuff built, so I guess if you're not following here and care to see more awesome and epic game shows among the other stuff I do, look forward to it because I'm definitely planning to do more of that stuff around here. 'Cause I had a lot of fun. So true. Yeah, thank you all again for joining me here. If you'd all like to say any last words, I'll get you guys all proper shout outs in case people here just somehow don't know what you're about. Amos, if you'd like to tell the crowd, everybody, all the cool stuff you did. You just played through Armored Core 6, yeah?
I just played through Armored Core 6. I believe next weekend I am going to start on Riven, the sequel to Myst.
Ooh.
And on Wednesday, I'm going to be continuing a playthrough of Advance Wars Days of Ruin. That's what's going on in my little world.
I poked my head in on your Advanced Wars stream, and like those strategy games are like a whole nother world to me. I like break my brain thinking about that stuff. So it's cool to see somebody who's like so like into them and can like figure them out, you know?
Yeah, I love strategy games. Some like I used to not be super into them, but like something in my brain broke in the last 5 years, and I was like, I really just need to like control little guys on a grid.
You know, that's understandable. That's cool. You've got a great stream, and you have an aesthetic and art style unlike anybody else on the platform. It's very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And Sarah, would you care to speak to everybody about your stream? I might be on a cooldown for shoutouts, but I sure am.
I stream retro games. I'm a huge fan of Sonic. I do a monthly marathon of Sonic 1, CD, 2, 3, and Knuckles. I've got it down to less than 4 hours.
God, that's crazy. That's
and,
so impressive.
Currently starting to work my way through Toho Project for the first time.
Ooh, are you pretty adept at shmups? Do you like to play those cool games?
I'm decent at shmups. I used to play them a ton, then I took a long break, but I'm still decent at them.
Nice.
And I'm also a game developer. I work for Xseed. You might have seen me in the credits of a few things.
Fantastic. You are a really good streamer, and your streams are always like really comfy and fun. I remember specifically hanging out a lot in them when Classicvania was going on. I know you've got those Adventure Rebirth redeems that are quite awesome.
Yeah, I love everything most Meow.
It's so good. Right. And Danny, one half of Retro Pals, care to tell us about all the stuff you've got going on?
Let's see. On Retro Pals, we're in the middle of our latest patron request gauntlet, where people who support us make me play a bunch of really twisted microcomputer games. So expect to see, like, I don't know, Flimbo's Quest or some shit.
Flimbo's Quest. Let's go. We got to dig up some articles about Flimbo's Quest.
Yeah, do an all Flimbo format next time, so no one will score any points ever.
Yeah.
I also play a lot
except
of
for
arcade
Danny.
games on my solo channel. I've been working on 1cc's of Black Tiger and Double Dragon, so I hope to
Ooh.
get that done soon on stream.
Nice.
And that about does it for what I've been up to.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you all again for joining me here and helping me more or less test the waters and see how things go. Overall, I think it was relatively smooth. I would like to keep toying with the format a little more, figuring out extra things I can add, spicing up some of the background elements and everything, and just overall keep things lively and fun and fresh. The biggest part at this point is really just like constantly finding things to research to fill out on the stream and stuff, because it took not to, like, you know, toot my own horn or whatever, but it took a lot of time and energy to figure out all the different, like, questions and stuff I wanted to have, all the different things that I had to research and pull from. And I would like to do more with it. I would like to add other stuff outside of exclusively magazines as well, just to be a more all-encompassing sort of retro gaming show around here. But this was a really fun little adventure to go on, and I'm looking forward to doing more like it in the future. Welcome home, Sir Grimmington. I'm ending. But yeah, I'll be back doing more stuff this week. On Tuesday night, I'm gonna be starting a non-retro game, if you can believe that. Super Mario Wonder. That game looks so fucking cool, and I've been really meaning to play it for a while, so I got it. And we're gonna do that on Tuesday. Wednesday, I'm going to do a hand cam stream where I'm building a cute little 7-Eleven issue Shars Zaku 2 hand cam. That's gonna be great. Friday night at 9, RG Blues and I are gonna be starting a collab of Pokemon Coliseum. I played that quite a long time ago in my youth, but I had the wrong mindset for that one. Oh, I forgot to put an S there. Oh well, go follow Retro Pal.
There's a Retro Pal?
I'm sure.
Who is it?
I'm sure they're awesome.
The missing third Retro Pal.
And then Sunday, I'm going to be doing Mega Man 2 for my Capcom Conquest. If you're unfamiliar, it's another stream project I have where I'm trying to stream every Capcom game ever put out. So I'll be preparing a cool presentation, and if you like retro magazines, I'm sure I'll have plenty about that from them. Sort of reviews and development stories, background information, anything that I can dig up that I think is interesting before we play it. And you know, it's Mega Man 2. It's not the hardest game out there. I'll have no problem with it. I'm a big Mega Man head. I love those funny Mega Man guys. The retro NTCS. I can't believe it. We found them. But yeah, that's gonna be it for us. Thank you all again for joining me here as I sort of figured things out. I had a lot of fun putting all this together. It was very kind and cool of you all to show up and want to participate. So I'm sure I'll keep you in mind for future Archive Attack streams and other fun stuff that I've got going on around here.
It was a fun little event stream to participate in.
Yeah, that was a blast. Nice work putting this together.
Thank
I
you.
enjoyed it.
Thank you. I really do have a lot of fun making all sorts of stuff like this. So let me go see who's online right now and who we can go say hi to. There's quite a few people on at the moment. Oh. Yeah, ooh. I never get to raid Ray because Ray always streams like before I do, but right now he's playing Friday the 13th on NES, and that's fucking awesome. So we gotta go say hi to Ray, right? Yeah, and lastly, if you want to join my Discord or anything you can get pinged when I go live with all sorts of other cool epic events like this, by all means, join there, hang out, have fun. Let's go say hi to Ray Ravenstein, and let me make sure that I spelled that name right. Awesome. Fantastic. Alright, and archive attack. There's our raid message if you want to follow along. You can throw any emotes you want on there. Anybody out there who's got an emote that you would like to slap on there with, by all means. But Ray's cool. Ray's awesome. That's the funniest game ever made. Friday the 13th. I love it. I've never beaten it. I should try to someday, but it's very hard. I don't know if you guys are super familiar with it, but it's an awesome game. Yeah, that's gonna be it. So, be good, be nice. I'll see you all on Tuesday for Mario. Thank you all again for joining me here on this awesome stream, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye!